St. Petersburg is one of the most beautiful cities of the world, famous for its architectural monuments. The city is visited by a huge number of tourists who would like to see the sights of St. Petersburg, which preserved its cultural heritage. The city, with a history of over 300 years, has had several names: St. Petersburg, Petrograd and Leningrad. St. Petersburg is located along the bank of the Neva River and was built by the Russian Tsar Peter I. The Republic of Kazakhstan borders on the Russian Federation and was part of the large empire for over 70 years. Therefore, St. Petersburg is not a stranger city for Kazakhs. According to historic data, Kazakh Hans and elite frequently visited the city in the 17th and 18th centuries for diplomatic and other purposes.
Petersburg
was the capital of the empire and therefore attracted people. Therefore, the first Kazakh embassies would come here with gifts, and the evidence of those relationships between the two countries are kept in our museums, like the Cabinet of Curiosities, the Russian Museum of Ethnography, and the Hermitage. Among those who participated in establishing the relationships were travelers and Huns. By the way, Han Jahangir got a higher military education here. He studied in the Page Corps, which was a military academy in Imperial Russia. After graduation from the academy, Jahangir Khan served as Major General in the Russian service. First of all, St. Petersburg is associated with the flap bridges over the Neva River, St. Isaac's Cathedral, the Hermitage and other architectural objects. The collection of the Hermitage includes over 3 million artworks and artifacts of the world culture. Among them are paintings, sculptures, works of applied art and archaeological and numismatic relics. During the Soviet Union, archaeological monuments found in Kazakhstan would be kept in the museums of Russia. For instance, Tai-Kazan, which is the relic of the Sak period, was kept in the Hermitage. After Kazakhstan gained independence, the relic was sent over to the Hoja Ahmed Yassawi Mausoleum in the Kazakh city of Turkestan. Today, a stone found in the Karsakpay mine by the Kazakh geologist Kanish Satpayev is exhibited in Hermitage. The stone has information in the Old Uyghur and Arab languages about Tamerlane's victory over Tokhtamis Khan.
Здесь была открыта, в 11 залах была открыта экспозиция.
11 halls of the Hermitage's east section are devoted to the Central Asian expositions of the ancient and Middle Ages. A lot of valuable artifacts found in Kazakhstan are exhibited here. For instance, behind me is the big altar of the Sak period, which was found near the Almaty city.
Представлены находки, которые были сделаны на территории Казахстана. В частности, вот за моей спиной находится большой семиреченский алтарь сакского времени, найденный в окрестности, ныне уже в черте города Алмата.
Also, Petersburg is closely related to Shokan Valikhanov, the first Kazakh traveler and ethnographer. He was the direct descendant of Abulay Khan. In 1858 to 1859, he went on scientific mission to Kashgaria. During the trip, he collected valuable information about the history, ethnography, culture, and geography of the Kashgarian area. The Tsarist government appreciated his scientific work. In 1860, in St. Petersburg, Shokan Valikhanov was received by Russian Tsar Alexander II and was awarded with a special order.
Громадное влияние на него оказала встреча.
Pyotr Semyonov-Tanshansky and Fyodor Dostoevsky were friends of Shokan. They frequently exchanged letters. Dostoevsky even wrote to Shokan, "I appreciate you even more than my own brother. You are serving the culture of your own people. I would compare you with a gold bridge between Russia and Kazakhs. I believe that your scientific works will be fruitful."
И там вот в одном из писем буквально говорится так: Я полюбил вас так сильно, может быть, даже больше, чем родного брата. Вы являетесь надеждой отечественной культуры, вы являетесь связующим звеном между степью и Россией.
This building was the house of the Grand Duke Mikhail Nikolaevich, who was the fourth son of the Russian Emperor Nikolai I. The palace was constructed specially for the Field Marshal General in 1857 to 1862 by the architect Andrei Stackenschneider. Today, a number of institutes of the Russian Academy of Science are located in the building. One of them is the Institute of Oriental Manuscripts. You can see here the first collected works of Shokan Valihanov published in 1904. Besides, there is the collection of poems of the Persian poet Divan Haqqani, signed and gifted by Shokan Valihanov to the museum. The Kazakh scientist would draw images that he saw during his travels and research. The 4 pictures drawn by Shokan have been preserved till now. In 1845, the Russian Geographical Society was founded. Portraits of the famous Russian researchers, geographers and travelers are hung on the wall of the society. Among them is the portrait of the Kazakh scientist Shokan Valihanov. It was Irlan Iskakov, Chancellor of the Interregional Institute for Economics and Law in St. Petersburg, who suggested including the ethnographer's portrait among the images of the well-known Russian scientists.
После того, как я сделал доклад о Шокане Валиханова, это было в 2010 году, как ни поразительно, меня пригласили тоже.
In 2010, I made a report on Shokan Valihanov in the Russian Geographic Society. The listeners seemed to like it, and after the report, I was invited to become a member of the society. Then I presented them with the portrait of the Kazakh traveler in order to remind people of him. Today, Shokan Valihanov's portrait is hung on the wall together with the images of 29 famous Russian travelers, like Przewalski.
Русских ученых. Сейчас он наряду с другими путешественниками, такими как Потанин, как Пржевальский, один из 29 портретов великих российских путешественников. Он висит в Русском географическом обществе.
Kazakh woman hero Aliya Moldagulova lived and studied at the shelter care facility in Leningrad. After World War II began, she entered the School of Snipers, and in 1943 she went to the front within the 54th Special Rifle Brigade. The sniper girl killed about 30 fascist officers. For this heroism, she was awarded the title of the Hero of the Soviet Union. The residents of St. Petersburg never forgot Aliya Moldagulova's heroism. Today, in one of the secondary schools, there is a museum of Aliya Moldagulova. As for this old building, it once was a shelter care facility where Aliya spent her yeasty years. The street on which the care facility is located bears the name of the Kazakh sniper girl. It was done as a sign of respect for the brave girl who sacrificed her life for the peaceful life of others. This is the Piskarovska Memorial Cemetery located in the north part of St. Petersburg. Victims of the siege of Leningrad who died in 1941 to 1942 were buried here. About 490,000 people who died of the fascist attacks, the famine, and of the nipping frost were buried in the cemetery. Kazakh soldiers were among those who gave their lives for the sake of the peaceful life of the younger generations. 6,895 Kazakhstani soldiers died a hero's death, defending the city of Leningrad from the enemies. In this regard, the Atameken Kazakh Association of St. Petersburg and the Leningrad region set a memorial plaque to commemorate the Kazakhstani heroes at the Piskarovska Memorial Cemetery. Leningrad is my children, Leningrad is my pride. I can see the reflection of the Neva River in the steppe stream. Looking with my old sight at the snowy ridge, I can see the arches of your bridges and the deepness of the Baltic twilights. This poem of the Kazakh poet Zhambyl Zhabayev was versed to give spiritual support to the Leningraders sieged by the fascist forces. In response to that support, the name of the Kazakh poet was given to one of the streets of Petersburg. This land was gifted by Catherine II to the doctor who treated her. Initially, the street was given the name of that doctor. In 1953, when streets were being renamed by the names of the war veterans, the street was named after Zhambyl Zhabayev. Sarsengali Kuspanev, president of the Atameken Kazakh Association, has made significant input to rendering honor to Zhambyl. For that end, the association decided to set a monument sculpture of the poet. On the 13th of May 2003, the 300th anniversary of St. Petersburg was celebrated. The monument was officially opened on that day. The President of Kazakhstan, Nursultan Nazarbayev, the Governor of St. Petersburg, Vladimir Yakovlev, and other officials attended the opening ceremony. The bronze monument of the Kazakh poet is set in a small park on the Zhambyl Street. The monument is surrounded by 7 wings made in the form of a Kazakh traditional house yurt. In front of Zhambyl Zhabayev's sculpture, his famous poem called "Leningrad is my children" is written with gold letters. The monument inculcates the feelings of patriotism and pride in any person who visits it, especially in the Kazakhs living in St. Petersburg. The Atameken Kazakh Association in St. Petersburg and the Leningrad region makes its contribution to the commemoration of the Kazakh eminent figures in Petersburg, protects the interests of the local Kazakh people, and popularizes the Kazakh culture. The association's history began with the establishment of the Council of the Kazakh Students and Postgraduates, aimed at helping students with poor progress in 1964. I gathered senior students and postgraduates and said, "Many of our countrymen leave universities because they have difficulties with study. What can we do to help them?" So we helped them by tutoring in maths, physics, descriptive geometry. Besides, the daughter of the minister, Budin, who was a postgraduate student at that time, taught English. Eventually, 73 to 75 out of 80 students graduated from universities. Later on, we created the Ағайын youth group. The Kazakhs living in Petersburg have a tradition of gathering on various events in order to associate with one another, listen to the Kazakh music, songs, try Kazakh meals like baursak, kurt, terimshik, etc. One of such meetings was devoted to the Tusau Keser party of the small grandson of the Zhaman Karayev family. The celebration is arranged when a child takes his or her first step and is marked with the ritual cutting a motley rope connected to each of the child's legs. The rope is ritually cut by a respected adult. This time, the privilege was given to Baurjan Yespayev, an honored person of the local Kazakhs, doctor of medical science and professor. I wish you confidence and happiness in life. I wish you success and your dreams come true. As a doctor, the first thing I would like to wish you is good health. Respect your parents and be an active member of the Kazakh Association. Elderly Kazakhs living in Petersburg always support the young Kazakhs in their community. In 2007, a Dostar youth wing of the Atamiken Association was created. The students help the Atamiken Association in organizing events and publishing newspapers and magazines. Among those who make their input in the association's activities are Kazakh youth born in St. Petersburg, as well as Kazakh students from Kazakhstan.
Мы стремимся, чтобы ребята, которые приезжали в Питер, чувствовали себя как
Our major goal is to help Kazakh students who came here from Kazakhstan to feel at home. We organize various events, we go to museums together and organize festive nights events, sporting competitions and cultural events. In Petersburg, we feel as in a small Kazakhstan.
Мы активно участвуем, приглашаем в Достар ребят, которые хотят также участвовать в жизни, да? В общем, мы создали для себя свой Казахстан в Петербурге.
Today, thousands of students from different parts of Kazakhstan study at Petersburg's higher educational institutions. The students intend to get high-quality knowledge in Russia and apply their skills for the development of Kazakhstan.
Мен оңтүстік Қазақстан облысынан Арыс ауданынан келіп отырмын.
I am from the Aris district of the South Kazakhstan region. I study at the Marine Technical University in Petersburg. My name is Ziabekov Bakhtiar. My main purpose is to obtain necessary knowledge and apply it for the development of Kazakhstan's marine sector.
Менің Қазақстанға көптеген осы жаңа бағытта келе жатқан теңіз саласын дамытқым келіп отыр.
One can feel love of the Kazakhs living in St. Petersburg for their homeland and see the devotion to the Kazakh traditions. They have never lost ties with Kazakhstan. Each summer they send their children to their historic homeland so that they don't forget their mother tongue and spend some time in the Kazakh atmosphere. The Kazakhs living in St. Petersburg regularly follow the news about Kazakhstan and get happy when hear about the country's achievements. They are proud of the republic, which in 20 years of its independence has rapidly developed.
Мен жыл сайын барам, даже бір рет барсам котлован дейді ғой, орысша айтқанда.
I go to Kazakhstan annually. Sometimes when I come to the country, I see a big ditch being dug. When I come the following year, I can see a tall building on the site. The country keeps developing. Kazakhstan is very cordial for me. Firstly, because it is my historic homeland. Secondly, my grandchildren live there. Thirdly, I'm proud of the country's achievements. We're grateful for Kazakhstan's president because I have been living in St. Petersburg for 50 years, but I have not seen a single Kazakh sweeping the streets or doing any unskilled labor.
Себебі осында мен 50 жыл тұрам деп айттым ғой. Бірақ бірде-бір қазақ келіп, или көше сыпырып, или қара жұмыс жасап жүрген қазақтар жоқ.
И если Казахстан нынче отмечает 20-летие, то
Kazakhstan is celebrating its 20th anniversary. However, the national self-consciousness had been formed by the time when the word Kazakh and the Kazakh Khanate appeared. It can be considered as the geopolitical event because a new national state of Kazakhstan appeared in Eurasia. Gaining independence was not an easy task for our ancestors. In this regard, we should not forget the input of the numerous political and public figures.
Значит, к этому шли мы долго, и на этом пути следует упомянуть также и усилия многих деятелей, политических, общественных деятелей Казахстана.
Я вот местная казашка, я родилась в Петербурге.
I'm a local Kazakh. I was born in St. Petersburg. I found my place here, but I want to move to Kazakhstan because I love my homeland and my history. Though everything is okay in St. Petersburg, I think it will be better for me in Kazakhstan. The Kazakhs living in St. Petersburg are proud of Kazakhstan because they demonstrate the nation's dignity in the country they live in. They devoted their lives to science and knowledge and are achieving great results, thus providing that they're representatives of the rich culture and civilization.